Alright guys, we are testing Gallius against the Hydra today. He is our Provoker and our Decreased Defense champion. Now unfortunately, the Head of Decay is Spirit Affinity, which means we are Weak Affinity against him, but he has a chance to place it on a 2-turn duration, and we also have Husk, who's our backup Provoker, so hopefully that will be enough. We're going to target the Head of Decay as well, trying to get him down as soon as possible. Love all the extra turns here. Alright, we're going to go, let's go A1. Perfect. Meaning we don't have to do it here. Going to place increased defense on everyone. Keep going over here. Again, we're just going to be trying to get that Head of Decay down as soon as possible. We are looking for Head of Mischief. We're looking for Head of Torment. Those are our number 1 and 2 Hydra heads that we want. We're going to AoE there and hope that Gallius is able to get his ability off without getting weak hit. We got a weak hit. It's going to happen, but at this point the goal is kind of just to get as many hits into... We got provoked there on both of our Provokers, which is not great. Just get as many hits into this head as we can. I think he's probably going to get a cleanse off here, but we're kind of just going to keep going and hope we're getting lucky. Maybe Husk gets an extra turn. He didn't. So we're going to get a cleanse off, which is super unfortunate. He does not have his poison cloud up, so that's good. We are going to get smacked and not going to have decreased attack on, which stinks. But it is what it is. So Gallius, in terms of like usefulness, I don't think he's an amazing Hydra champion. I think he does bring some value with a 2-turn provoke. If the Spirit Affinity... Not the Spirit Affinity. If the Head of Decay ever turns to a positive affinity like Magic or even Force, I think he can be pretty top tier just because it's a high chance and he places it for 2 turns, which is super big. But assuming we don't get that, then it's just not great. I also don't know how much accuracy he has, to be completely honest. I don't love the Reflect over here. I would love... Oh my gosh. Alright, let's get a regroup in. I know it's early, but losing decreased attack on Head of Wrath is pretty much a death sentence almost every time. We're going to risk it for Gallius. I'd rather just try and get the 2-turn one out early. Resisted. We're going to change his banner. I was using him in some other content and switched him from an accuracy banner to a defense banner. So we're going to put him back in this. Still over 2. I don't want to buy that. No, thank you. Gosh, they're so pushy. Just trying to click back into Hydra raid. Come on. All right, team is back up. Okay, attempt number 2, 3, I don't know, 3. There's our decreased attack. That's nice. Again, we're going to risk it for the Gallius. Provoke, I think once we get that 2-turn provoke off, we're kind of off to the races and can get things going. But again, we're weak affinity, weak hit. The real issue is, like, say we start getting a decent run together and he pops back up and then Gallius doesn't get it again. And it's like I almost need Krisk to be in this team for the consistent provoke. He just doesn't bring a ton. Like, really, besides the provoke, I guess he does buff extension, ally protect. Okay, we got it there. Let's go ahead and get him down. Still got a 1-turn, which is big. We just want Michinaki to keep ally attacking all the time as much as possible. We're going to get... We don't have decreased attack out, so if you could place that... Nope, that's okay. Reflect damage is also nasty. You can see that's probably the coolest part of his kit is when he has the counterattack on, or when he just counterattacks in general, he does enemy max HP. And it's not an insane enemy max HP, but it is nice. You can see he's going to hit for 200 and something here because we've got decreased defense out. Boom, 241. Places a decreased speed. Like, it's all very, very good. Provoke is gone. So we need to get it back up. You're provoked. I don't know if Gallius is going to have it back. He doesn't. We did place decreased speed, which is nice. Don't have our counterattack on Gallius. Like, maybe he replaces Husk. I don't know. I love Husk too much, though. Because if we had Krisk, we could extend Gal. If this fails again, we'll try that. Because if we have Krisk, he can extend Gallius's counterattack. He can provide ally attack. And he's a more consistent provoker, so we're not as fussed about, like, what if it doesn't land? What are we going to do? He just doesn't bring a lot of damage, and Husk brings way more damage. Okay. We're going to go for the provoke here because we need it. We also really need to heal him. He is super low. I'm going to save it. Even though my instinct says to use it. Yep, should have used it because we lost Husk. There's the cleanse. All right, taking Husk out. So we're not replacing Husk with Krisk. We're really replacing Husk with Gallius. And I don't know if that's the right call or not. So we are going to provoke first. Oops. Only issue with this is Mishinaki is just like basically all of our damage. I mean, Shamail does good single target damage. I did change Shamail into a, whatever his blessing is, 5-star heaven cast, and that is awesome because he already does more like increased or ignore defense when he has lots of buffs, and now he's just also doing just more raw damage, including on his A1, which is huge. We're going to try for the provoke here with Gallius. We got it. That's some good RNG finally. The Ally Protect is super big as well, just in terms of getting, surviving those big smacks that are inevitably going to come in. We're not doing a ton of damage to him, but that's okay. We're kind of controlling everything. The counterattack is also super nice because it's like single target enemy max HP, and it does the hex spread of 10% of that, which is super nice. We're going to heal up a little bit. We're going to restore max HP. That's an underrated part of his kit. It's just not that big of a deal, to be honest. We've already got our provoke, so we're going to extend buffs. I can't see who's in the chat, but thank you guys for joining. We've got a few viewers. We're just testing out Gallius against the Hydra. He's like my first mythical I pulled. I have Mikage, who's great. Kinda. She's great. I mean, I'm not trying to down on her. My biggest issue is, and I don't mean to be too negative, but I kind of feel like I've reached a point in Raid where it's like, if you don't change my account, or you're not like insanely fun, it's tough to be excited. Like Mikage, I worked so hard to get her. I pulled extra shards. I even bought more shards. Trying to get the epics. I'm competing in like champion chase events and champion training tournaments to try and win the epics. And I eventually just pulled a Tatsu when I had one epic left, which is fine. And then, I'm so excited to get her. And she's in my Fire Knight team. I guess she's in my Clan Boss team, like the Wixwell team. But you could literally use a Neri or Hellborn or anybody. We're just going to go with it there just to get the counterattack back out. I think we're going to be able to kill him. And we've got Krisk's provoke back. I just want him to counterattack when at all possible, because that's really where his damage comes in. I'll show you the alternate form in a bit. It's just not amazing. I mean, it's his damage form, and he does place decreased defense, which is nice. That's about it, though. Let's switch forms. So we got decreased defense everywhere, so if I do the A1, it hits really hard. Well, supposedly. That's like the godlike ability. That didn't feel very hard. Like, that was almost twice as hard on Michinaki. Granted, Michinaki's definitely built better, but also you're talking about a mythical champion versus just like a Spirit Affinity dude. Like, this doesn't make any sense. We're not going to extend buffs because we don't really have enough to extend. I'm going to take this and heal a little bit. Now, Gallius can place the decreased defense really well, but again, we already have Mishinaki to do that. Provoke's falling off. Let's see if we can kill. That one's not bad. It is really cool because like in wave content, if he kills somebody with that, it instantly resets it. Kind of like the Queen Eva ability. So he can be a good campaign farmer. If you build him well enough, he can be a good minnow farmer. Hypothetically, if you build him well enough, he can be a wave clearer. But I think that's pretty tough to do. I was going to say, I don't know when he's going to counterattack, but it's got to be soon. Another big hit. That just isn't that big. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think Gallius is good? I think the most compelling like argument and use case for him is what I saw in YST's video, where it's basically like set him up against these like Sand Devil, set him up against Phantom Shogun and let him counterattack with enemy max HP, and I have done that. I actually sped up my Iron Twins team, but I also kind of think my Iron Twins team would have been sped up anyways, just because the stats were so much lower. Like even my Double to Mytha team still does everything so much faster, so it's not like he's shaving off 2 minutes of a long run. I'd love to get him down. The buffs make me feel better about attacking him. I think we're going to switch back forms just because this form doesn't do a ton. I'll go do one more hit. He did good damage on these decapitated heads, but who doesn't, you know? Who doesn't do good damage against decapitated heads? Everyone should be doing good damage against decapitated heads. Let's get a little extra turn in here. Gosh, I love Supreme Gaelic. Gotta be like my favorite Hydra champion in the game. At least not in the game. My favorite Hydra champion that I have, because the Crizia would for sure be the number one. We're not quite at 1 million per turn, but I feel like this is pretty good. I also feel like this is pretty sustainable. We're going to go with the counterattack just because it's an AoE, and we want the counterattack buff on ourselves for when these guys hit us. Going to keep punching the decapitated head. That's really unfortunate because he's the one who deals with Head of Mischief, and we're about to let him smack us back here. We want Michinaki to counterattack. Perfect. Now, if we can get somebody to counterattack this head, beautiful. He'll cleanse off Krisk's. Boom. Give a little counterattack there. Do it. Yeah. Weak hit. Awesome. We're going to put increased defense up. His buffs are good. It's like Revive on Death, though. How much is that really adding? You know, like that just doesn't feel like it's doing a ton for us. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, I'm happy to help you out on Clan Boss, dude. Glad you could join the stream. Yeah, I agree. I feel like he's kind of got to be one or the other. Like he's either totally support or he's totally damage. But like the thing is, if I'm building him personally and I'm building him for support, I'm still going to crit cap him. Because he counterattacks with enemy max HP, so how could I not, like, at least give him 100% crit rate? You don't have to necessarily build him to nuke. But I don't know, does he bring enough support? Like, I use Siphi as support, and I know that Siphi's like a Void Lego, one of the best in the game, but it's like, on my account, that's just simply who he's competing with. I don't know. I feel like I'm being too harsh, but also I feel like if there's any type of champion that deserves that kind of criticism, it's a mythical champion, right? I spent $100 on that Void Shard video, or the Primal Shard video, which I shouldn't have done. And I'm so excited to get a mythical, and now all I can think about is what mythical will I get next, and please don't let it be Gallius again. Because even if I empower him, even if I build 2, he's not... I'm really trying to not be like a Debbie Downer here. Even if I build 2 of them, it's not like he's going to change my account, right? If I pull 1 Acrizia, that changes my account. And she's Void Lego, but that's less rare than a Primal, than a Mythical. If I pull, let's see, who else? Valkynon, that's another Void Lego. I'm trying to think what non-voids I want. Necmo is good. He's not, I don't know if he's a ton better than Eastrid. I've been meaning to do a community poll about that, actually. I feel like almost everything I wanted from, I didn't even notice the Provoke heads out. Oops. Glad we got it, though. I'm curious how much better he is than Eastrid. It doesn't feel as big of a gap as I thought there would be. There's one other champion that I knew I was looking at the other day that I really want. Wallmaster Thorion is up there. He's not Void. I don't remember what affinity he is. He's in that camp of, I think would pretty much change my Hydra. And Hydra is like one of the biggest areas I want changed. Like in terms of pushing content, Centranos is up there, but I'm just not that fussed about it because I'm not going to get Carnage anytime soon. I've yet to beat an entire like floor 100% of hard Centranos. I've done it on normal, but I've yet to beat any of it on hard. I mean, I've beaten Amius a few times. I didn't beat him this last rotation. So I don't necessarily like need a ton of help there. And like really the help there is like epic empowerment and epic blessings and stuff like that, because the epic champions really carry you, especially in hard where there's so much more restrictive. Who else is there? I know there's a champion. If you guys know who I'm talking about, let me know. There's like a non-void legendary that I really, really want specifically for Hydra, but I just can't think who it is. Let me pull up Hell Hades' website on the other screen. And I'm going to try and look up like basically champion ratings for Hydra. Doesn't want to load right now. We're going to try it and get the 2. We got the 2. That's big. Don't love the Poison Cloud out there. I'd love Mischief to come back, though. That'd be awesome. All right. Champion tier list. Apparently my computer does not trust Hell Hades. All right. Theodore, no. Duchess, already have. Geo, no. Unappreciated Brogni, no. Taras, obviously. Grizzor, obviously. Oh, Feral. That's who it is. Feral is my most wanted non-void legendary, specifically for Hydra, but in general, probably, I think. Feral is awesome with the block buffs, the decreased resistance, or decreased accuracy, increased resistance, whatever it is. It's like the full swing of the... Yeah, that's what it is. Decreases the Hydra bosses or your enemy's accuracy, increases your resistance, which makes it like super easy to resist everything that the bosses are trying to do to you. So the provokes, the buff strips, the poisons, provokes right there. We just saw that hurts. We got reflect up now. We got suffering back out. We don't need to provoke. I would love some buffs back up, Siffy. That'd be awesome. Because he is kind of going to wreck us in a second. Increase attack is going to be nasty. There's all those poisons that we resisted some of and could have resisted all of if we had Feral. Plus, he does the damage. Like, in this team would be awesome. Like, imagine just replacing Krisk or Gallius with Feral. Everyone's going to have 4 buffs so often, especially because he's applying his own buffs, that we're just going to be doing 20% more damage just, like, consistently. I'm going to buff extend here because we just got so many buffs, and hopefully we can provoke here. Let's go. We're finally getting some good RNG. Still need a buff strip with Michinaki. Ask and you shall receive. That's what I'm talking about. Need to heal up some, though. He's got heal reduction on. Don't have a cleanser on this team. We don't need to provoke. Just going to keep trying to get down to K. Oof. We can heal here, but we can heal everyone but Michinaki. To be fair, if he dies, like, we can just revive him with Siffy. That's why she's here. That'll help a little bit. Revive on death does not hurt. It's fine. You literally don't have any buffs you can be trying to place. Got 4 people in the chat. Thanks for joining. Just like a typical Hydra run, and we're chilling. We're testing out Gallius. I'm sure you guys have been here long enough. I'm not paying super close attention to the chat. I don't know what to think. Right now, we're mostly using him in support / like the counterattack damage, but he's not doing a ton of damage outside of that. I like that he's defense based. Like, that definitely makes a better case for him because, you know, at least he's more likely to stay alive if you do build him for damage. But I almost wonder, like, should you build him for damage? About to get this off. We can place decrease attack first. Nice. Should get head of decay down in a second. Another 2-turn provoke. We're finally getting some good RNG on this. Whew. Okay. Still well below 1 million per turn, but I mean 7.5 million per turn is not bad. Got a 1-turn provoke. I love not having, like, I love feeling like I need Krisk, and then when I bring him in, I barely use his provokes, but it's so reliable. He's built fast, and he does bring a lot of support for the team. Plus, he's doing like decreased speed on the A1. He's got cruelty, so it's like he's bringing a lot, but he's not like I'd much rather have my Husk in here. I'd feel happier. Maybe not more confident, but happier for sure. I think if you could, maybe, I'm trying to think how you could buff Gallius to make him better. Obviously, multipliers is a big thing that he would really just benefit from having better multipliers. I think if you made both of his A1s AoE instead of just on his second form, I think that would be really cool because then you could get damage out of both forms and really just focus on the support here. My biggest thing is, especially on the second form, he does not hit hard enough. His A1 hits kind of hard, but to me, it's negated considering his A1 on the other form does way more damage against bosses. Like, you're not using him in PvP. He's not a good PvP champion. You can make him work in PvP, But like, let's look at other defense-based here. First of all, Michinaki would be better, and he's not an arena champion. Someone like Harima is going to be leagues better. And again, I feel like my instinct when I say something, I say, yeah, well, Harima's like, top 10, top 20 arena champion. Yeah, but Harima's a Force Affinity legendary. You can pull Harima from an ancient shard, right? Or a primal or a sacred. Mythicals are so freaking hard to get. They should be better than almost every single non-void legendary. I understand if there are some void legendaries that are better, but if I pull a mythical, there should not be 30 to 50 non-void legendaries that are better. And I really am confident in saying I can find 30 champions better than Gallius that are legendaries or epics even, but just speaking on legendaries, I'm confident I can find 30 legendaries that are non-void that are better than Gallius. And the biggest thing to me is it's not typically new players that are pulling mythicals, right? Like if you're a new player and you pull Gallius, that's massive, right? You've got like the best campaign farmer you could dream of. You've got a good arena champion. He's even good in like regular clan boss. He's great in Hydra in the early to mid game. He's going to be good damage in the dungeons. He's way more like survivable. It's so much easier to build damage stats on him. So it's like, that's awesome. Not many new players are going to pull mythicals. That's just the fact. So counter to that, for me, he doesn't bring anything, right? Like what I need on this account are champions who are specialists, champions who are amazing in one area, and he's just kind of average everywhere. At best, he's slightly above average in a few areas, like maybe in Hydra. He was in Clan Boss, but he was broken, and then they fixed him, which is fair. It's hard to get mad about that, but it is easy to get mad about that when I pulled him, and he's not doing anything for me. We're going to get cleansed here. I didn't pay attention, unless Chris has got it back. Oh, baby. Chris coming in clutch. 293 right there. That's nice. I do think his damage will be good at the end. It's not going to be in smelling distance of Michinaki. Like, it's not even going to be close. Michinaki's so much better than him. And I guess the knock against Michinaki is, well, Michinaki's like just a Hydra champion, which isn't true. But even if it is, like when you're in the end game and you may only use Michinaki and Hydra, that brings more value to me than a champion who's mid everywhere. Like I'm not going to use him in the arena because again, there's 10, 15, 20 champions I would rather use. Right? And I'm not going to use him in Clan Boss because I have Geomancer in my Wixwell team. Even if I didn't have Geomancer, I would use my +4 Gentoro or even a regular Gentoro. Like, I just think you'd have a hard time telling me where Gallius is like a top 15, 20 champion in the game. And I know that's a high bar, but I feel like that's kind of the bar you have to set for mythicals. And I'm not even going to go into the insane list of mythicals that are top 10 in multiple areas. Like, you want to talk about broken, let's talk about Lazarius, who's like one of the best arena champions in the game and is so good in Hydra. I mean, unbelievably good in Hydra. And I've got Gallius, who does nothing nowhere. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if I'm being too harsh. I feel like I'm going on a rant, and I hate being a negative guy, but it just feels frustrating. It feels frustrating knowing that I could have pulled a Toshiro, which potentially could take me to 1 billion damage, right? Like, I could have pulled a Garrel who could potentially take me to 1 billion damage. Like, I could have pulled someone who I would have been, like, screaming and crying almost, being so happy to have this champion on my account. I could have pulled a Crixia, and I can try and push Plat Arena, and I can try and push Live Arena. I could have pulled a Lazarius and done the same. I guess the only champion I wouldn't want over Gallius would have been another Mikage, but even then, it's like, that would still be good. I don't know. Like, I would love to have 2 Mikages in my Wixwell team. That'd be insane. Maybe like a Frolny. I don't even know what that guy does. I'm not saying he's the worst mythical, just to clarify, but I do think he's up there. And I'm very tempted to make a video saying that and then literally listing 30 non-voids I think are better than him. I think, especially when, and I know I've already said this, but I think especially when we're talking about the end game, you need to be amazing in particular areas of the game. And if you're amazing in multiple areas of the game, that's awesome, right? But you have to be bringing value to someone's account, and I just don't think he does. I guess we'll start going for Mischief over here. I mean, this run is going well, And I don't think by any means that he's doing poorly. But on the same, different side of the same coin, I guess, it's like we're already going to be doing well. Like this is just the Husk spot, and I don't feel like this is really any better than like a Husk run that we normally do. I don't see a major difference. Because Husk is doing his enemy max HP way more consistently than the guy who only does it when he's counterattacking. We lost our Hex. Still keep trying to go over there. I don't really care where we attack. I guess I should attack here, but we're not going to spread damage there, so going to keep restoring our max HP because that's going to continue to be an issue. We don't need to provoke. Let's try and place decrease speed. Nice. We need block buffs. We need Hex. Nice. We're not going to get that unless he gets a reset. Yes, he does. Let's go. Oh my gosh. You want to talk about champions better than Gallius? Supreme Gaelic. Holy cow, he does so much. Provoke. I know it's not time to provoke, but we are going to provoke because I want counterattacks like that. Although if he were to steal our counterattack, I've had that happen once. That is the absolute nightmare with him. To be safe, I probably need to build him with resistance, but to be honest, I'm not going to because I feel like he needs so many stats to be good because we're using him for decreased speed and we're using him for provoke. So we need the accuracy, we need the damage, and obviously you need speed. Don't have enough room on my account to try and build him for resistance as well. This guy's going to go down soon. We're going to try and get Mischief down quickly. If we can get Torment back, that'd be awesome. I hate this stupid double turn mechanic. It literally has become one of my biggest pet peeves in the game because when he consumes your champion, it's just one less turn you have to get them back, which if you're down to 2 turns, it's like that's game over almost. And it just speeds up like the total turns that the run is taken by a lot. Super annoying. Granted, it's the same issue you run when your players or your champions have the extra turn mechanics. Like if you're to run a Seeker or a Deacon or a Eostrid, then that's going to be a consistent issue you're facing. Just extra turns just get you to that 1,500 turn count limit more, which I don't think this team will make it, to be completely honest. Because if Mishinaki gets swallowed, we're just going to have a really tough time getting our heads back. But 21 minutes in, 67 million is not bad by any means. After this is over, I am curious. We're going to see if we can find 30 champions that are ranked better than I would rank over Gallius. Not counting epics. I think with epics we for sure could because there's so many epics that are like really niche, but so much more helpful. Like for example, and let me know if this is too far, I think if you're a mid-game player and you don't have her, Demitha is more impactful to your count than Gallius is. Like, when you're mid-game, you need to progress in clan boss, you need to progress in dungeons. Gallius isn't really going to help you do that. Demitha will, especially in clan boss. Let's try and get some damage out. Show you guys what I'm talking about. We got decreased defense on 3 heads, so let's just A1 here. 273, 80-ish K on these heads. But a lot of damage there when he hit twice, which is nice. But I really feel like he's basically Oboro. but I don't know. I was going to say worse. I don't know if he's worse than Oboro, but really doesn't feel like he's better than Oboro, does it? Got a few more people in the stream. Welcome. Thank you, guys. We're testing out Gallius, and we're just listening to Sam complain and be a downer, I guess, which is not what the intent of this stream was. It was supposed to be happy and exciting, and we had lots of fails at the beginning. I had to switch my team to a more like safe, less exciting team, and Gallius just isn't impressing Sam. I don't know, I keep speaking in the third person. He's not impressing me or Sam or any of us, really. Mike said you got to make him damage or support only, but this is basically damage with a little support. I mean, almost all. I'll go over his stats after this run's over. He's almost all damage. He just has like 300 accuracy. So I mean, I could, even if I took away the accuracy banner, that'd pretty much be the all damage, and it's not like way different of a build. We got 3 heads down. That's pretty nice. So we're gonna attack here, and then he's gonna attack everywhere else. 69 and 58. I mean, he didn't have increased defense. Like Michinaki just did 600,000. I'm not Michinaki. Inquisitor Shimeo just did 600,000 to a decapitated head with no weaken. I don't know. I'm happy with the run, honestly. I feel like the run itself was going well. But it's like, I feel like if I were to put in a Venus in the same spot, we'd be doing as good or better. I really just need a weekend champion. So it's like AoE weekend. I could put a Carolon in this spot and I could almost guarantee we'd be doing better. You know? Carolon brings or I definitely could be doing better if I bring in an Eastrid, because it's extra turn meter, it's extra decreased speed on the enemies, it's weaken, it's increased attack on ourselves. We'd for sure be doing better if we had Eastrid in the team. And that stinks. Like, I worked hard to get Eastrid, sure, but not as hard as I worked to pull. I think it took me, not in the shard pull video, but I think total, I think it was about 120 primal shards before I pulled my first mythical, and that's a ton of money and a ton of in-game grinding. Like, anytime I see like the current champion training event where it's like, oh, you get 9,000 points and you'll get a primal shard, I almost always do it because I need primal shards and I hate buying them. We're about to get our buff stolen. I hope Supreme Gaelic goes. He is going to go, but he's not going to get reset. Dang it. Go again. Dang it. We're about to get our buff stolen. Hopefully he'll steal from one of these guys and not... Oh, he can't steal from Gallius because Gallius is gone. I guess I don't really care about who he steals from at this point. We'll still put that up there and that up there. If he tries to steal from Krisk, that's best. Krisk is our resist tank. Yeah, Mike, I saw that too. I saw the Ash video with Obora. That's kind of what made me think about it, because I was looking at that kit. I'm like, that's kind of similar to what Gallius does. But I mean, I do think if I were to get like a 5-star crushing rend on him, I think that changes things. But that's such, to me, that just feels like such a cop-out argument, because you could say the same thing about anybody. If I get a 5-star crushing rend on Skull Crown, he's going to become a really good Hydra damage dealer. Like, it's just, that's the power of the blessing, and ignore defense. That's not the power of the champion that much. It's just like, that's how you optimally build that champion. But I would argue that I can get Carolon the Ringer to do as much damage as Gallius does. Maybe not as much raw damage, but he's also bringing Hex, and he's bringing Weaken. And I think with that Hex damage, he's going to outdamage Gallius. And Carolon, that's a whole other discussion. You guys know how much I love him, and he should be buffed. He's a Void Legendary, and he's not as good as Eastrid. And gosh, nowhere near Michinaki. And I feel like with how much I talk about Michinaki, I should really just consider myself lucky and happy to have him, which I am. But he just makes so many other champions feel crappy comparatively. I do love not having the Head of Decay out. He's one of my least favorite heads. Wrath is up there too. But Head of Decay is just so frustrating. I don't want to bring a Provoker into my team. I'm glad they added a way for us to deal with the cleanse, but I don't want to have to provoke. I really don't want to bring somebody in a provoke set. That set frustrates me so much. This game is already so much RNG, and unless you have like insane champions and insane gear, it's so hard to rely on a provoke set. I had Artak in a provoke set for a long time, and I remember I did 7 runs in a row where Artak went twice, so he has 2 chances with a provoke set. I did 7 runs in a row, so 14 chances to place provoke. He didn't place it once. So it was 1, didn't get it, go back around, 2, didn't get it, reset. 1, go back around, 2, didn't get it, 7 times, and he never placed a provoke. I'm like, dude, this is like a 35% chance to place a provoke, and it doesn't feel like it. That's, again, I feel like I'm going on separate rants, but I just do not like the provoke set. And so I have to bring in a provoker, and Husk is awesome, because Husk is like, that's a small part of his kit, and his value is elsewhere, but that's like an added bonus. So maybe I could run 2 Husk, but that doesn't feel right. And I feel like one of my favorite parts about Hydra is trying to test out lots of different champions. And so if I'm just running 2 Husk, I'm not doing that. We lost our Hex. Let's get it back. Beautiful. Gosh, Michinaki's popping off. We're going to place Revive on Death to give Shimeo another buff. Boom, he's down. We're going to try and kill this guy through Hex splash damage. Almost at 100 million. Looks like we've lost a few people due to my ranting. That's fair. Had 6. Now we're back down to 4. I don't blame you guys. I apologize if I'm being too negative. Counterattack him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 273. That's the coolest part of his kit for sure, which I feel like is almost a footnote in his actual kit, like written out. He's got like, what, 6 abilities or whatever, and that's like a footnote. But that to me feels like it is the best part of his kit, is the enemy max HP counterattack. Like, I really feel like the best use case for him is building him with like a super tanky Skull Crusher or Valkyrie or something, letting him go super slow and just being like, all right, here's your counterattack. Don't ever go. Just smack somebody with your A1 over and over again. 216 right there is solid on the decapitated head. That wasn't even any max HP. That was just raw damage. There's 281. Like, that part is cool. No denying it. But again, Mishinaki doing 212 there. Like, even Supreme Gaelic, who's not built for damage, he's barely crit capped, is doing 170. All right, we hit 100 mil. See how far we can go. If we get 200 mil with this team, I'll be happy. I just doubt it. And we're already 30 minutes in. I hate manualing Hydra, but I don't know how. I've never had an auto run that was successful. Decrease speed, that's nice. We have 3 decrease speed champions in this team. We have Supreme Gaelic, we have Krisk, and now we have Gallius. Yeah, 100%. Both that Mikage is better and that he does hit weak. Like, think about Siegfried. One is like one of the hardest AoE enemy, or not enemy max HP, but just one of the hardest enemy hitting abilities in the game. Toshiro, Geralt, golly, those guys just smack. Alaz smacks, and he's bringing counterattack and HP burns. Who else? I can't even remember a ton of the mythical champions right now. Carnage and Calamitous smack. I guess, like, there are some other mid champions that probably fall in similar categories, like Arbeis and Mezamel. I know people found uses for Arbeis. I don't know what they are again. But I would say those, to me, feel like they're in very similar tiers of, like, they're good champions. You can't argue that. But again, like, how excited are you if you're an in-game player and you pull them? Like, this is to me the extent of, or the tip of the in-game that I play, since I don't complete Centrenos and I don't place in Plat Arena, is pushing Nightmare Hydra. And obviously I can one-key it, with probably all epics. But it's how much damage can I do to Nightmare Hydra? That's like my challenge, and yeah, I just need champions that can help me with that. Oh yeah, dude, I 100% agree. It's so demoralizing to, like, save up your hard-earned 12 primals for 3 months, and then you just pull 10 blues and 2 trash epics. Like, the rates are bad, but I am so confident I would bet my house that they're not going to lower the price of primals, because I think they're their biggest moneymaker in raid now. And I think soulstones are sneakily close. Like, think about sacred shards and the value that they bring if you're an in-game player. There are not many good champions you can pull from sacred shards that will change your account. Unless you have, like, a glaring hole, like you don't have a Duchess or you don't have a Rhodos, or one of those types of champions. There's just not many in-game champions that are non-voids, especially if you've been playing a while, that you don't have, or if you're a whale that you don't have. Oh, Crixia is awesome for sure. She's not my most wanted, but she's definitely up there. I think my most wanted is Geralt. It's between him and Toshiro. Just again, because I'm all Hydra and those 2 guys are in the world record team that's not Trunda. I guess Trunda kind of falls in that camp of non-void champions that would kind of change your account. If you're a dirty scumbag and want to use the Trunda team. To be fair, a long time ago I made a Trunda video that did pretty well. That was before the nastiness of Clan Wars and Double Yumiko and things like that. So I can't say too much about Trunda. And if I knew how to build that team better, I maybe would. Not even for Hydra Clash, more for a video. I feel like I enjoy making content more than I enjoy Hydra Clash. Provoke. Let's go. Gallius, I'm telling you, man, he's heard what I said, and he's trying to put on a show for us. He's like, I'm not that bad. I'll show you. I'll prove you wrong, Sam. And he's trying. And I respect the effort, but I will not be swayed. He's just not good. He is good. That's not the right word. He's just not great. And I'm looking for greatness. Eastrid is surprisingly great. Gallius, unsurprisingly, not so great. 113 million. Doing pretty well. Head of Decay is consistently popping out, which is not ideal. Trying to get Suffering down next. Got 2-turn provoke up. That's huge. Counterattack. Yeah, 348. That's what I'm talking about. I am very curious what his total number will be at the end of this, because I think it's going to be high. I would say the two parts of his kit that when I got him and when I've read his kit in the past that I was least impressed with, or arguably, at least for Hydra, the two most important parts, which is the enemy max HP counterattack on the A1 and the restore all enemy, or restore all of our destroyed max HP. I don't really care too much for the buffs, but I do really like the restore the enemy, or our destroyed max HP. I think that's pretty cool. Boom, another 2-turn provoke. He's lighting it up right now. I love it. Another decapitation. Beautiful. Don't have Hex out. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. Oh, yeah, I did see the new Sylvan Watcher guy. Nice. I don't know how you say it. Looks interesting. I was kind of like, I think I was editing a video and watching that at the same time. Like, I think it was Nubs or somebody who did the video. And I was like, it was pretty interesting. But I don't remember thinking like, wow, this guy's insane. But after this, we can go through his kit in a second. Or maybe I can pull it up on Hellhady's website. See what they say about him. So let's go nice base. 3.5 overall. Attacks one enemy. Ignores shield and killable block damage. That's an arena ability. HP and attack base. Interesting. AoE will not trigger counterattacks. Ignore shields. That's kind of nice. Steals turn meter from each enemy. 20% from each enemy is nice. Effect cannot be resisted by enemies with more than 50% turn meter. That's a good arena ability. Attacks one enemy, deals double damage to bosses. That's always a cool line of text. Destroys champions max HP. Targets max HP. Decreases attack, defense, speed, resistance, and accuracy by 10% when the champion hits him with this skill for the first time. Interesting. This effect does not work against bosses. Okay. So now I was about to say, that's exactly where my head went was bosses. Increases his for the first time. So if you hit, so a single hitter. So if you're doing like a long arena fight, like a live arena battle, you could hit each of them, ignore their stats, and increase your stats by a ton. That's pretty cool. Kind of like the Rotos, where you like increases his max HP and decreases someone else's. If boss, yeah. Block revive if they're killed. That's pretty cool, honestly. I feel like he's a cool arena champion. Godlike ability, godlike and strong. 5% more damage for each 10% the target is lost. Prevents his death. Oh, yeah, I remember that part of the kit. That's pretty cool. I like it. I mean, let's see the alternate form. That's pretty cool. All right, one enemy 2 times. This is full HP. I feel like we're switched from damage to support instead of the inverse for Gallius. Heals him. Turn meter fill. AoE provoke. If he has more than 50% HP. If he has more than 75, can't be resisted. I like that. 50% or less. Places a stun. AoE stun. Can't be resisted. I don't like the I have to control this part. That's weird. Full cleanse or cleanses himself. Continuous heal. For however many debuffs removed. Counterattack and block damage. I don't know. Cleansing yourself. Like if you did cleanse everyone and places counterattack and block damage in yourself, that'd be cooler. That doesn't feel very good. Ooh, that's a solo ability right there. Increases champion's max HP, defense, speed, resistance, and accuracy by 15% for each dead enemy and ally, including bosses and their minions. Stacks up to 100%, so you could double his HP, defense, speed, resistance, and accuracy. And whenever he kills someone, he revives somebody. That's pretty cool. I bet he could solo some stuff here. He's only got the 1 AoE, but it is control. So like if you're provoking or stunning and then... Oh, the thing is he's not unkillable here, though. But he's going to be super tanky with those inflated stats. Yeah, I think he could be pretty good. I don't want to say I'm like blown away by his kit, but I guess I'd prefer him to my guy, right? I want to get Wrath down soon, but we're going to keep hitting decapitated heads while we can. There's our damage ability. Didn't feel like much damage to me. That feels like more damage to me. 670,000 or so. Counterattack. Yeah. 25k. No. And that's why you really want him in that other form. I feel like that's just better because the counterattack there would have done a big chunk of damage instead of we can't switch. So we're gonna hit here and then everyone else. 27, 34, 54. 54 is on a decapitated head with decreased defense, and he had increased defense. That's just not good enough. I mean, I just don't feel like there's any way you can look at that and be like, yeah, that's acceptable for Mythical. He has like 4,500 defense. It's not like he's not built well. He's not built insane. He's not built my Harima gear, but he's built well enough. Like his stats are probably semi-close to Michinaki. Stop it. Keep saying that Hell Hades website is not trustworthy, which maybe my defender knows something that I don't. Hell Hades are trying to scam us, apparently. Can we please... First of all, we need to buff up before this guy kills us. And I would also like to... We're literally about to get wrecked. We got decreased attack on him, though. That's fine. Okay. Gotta provoke up. Please switch forms. I mean, that's like 50s across the board. It did 100 or something there. 14 there. I thought that head was still decapitated, so I read that as 140 million, not 14 million. Let's keep coming over here and get him down. Because we love Torment. We just want Decay to be gone. We're going to try and switch... I can't remember his name now. Gallius. I was thinking Gaius, but that's the bomber. Trying to switch Gallius to our Provoke ability. Chris should have it back in one turn too, but... I'd rather A2 and A1 with Chris and just keep doing Gallius's counterattacks. We're creeping up a little bit in damage. I mean, this is good so far. I feel like I need to provoke here. I don't want to, but I feel like I need to. We'll just do decreased defense and we'll push the provoke back a turn. He might be dead before too long. 140 turns. I am supposed to go big on Hydra this week. I'm trying to win our Hydra clash. We tank 1 or 2 weeks and then we go big. And this is a big week, which is exciting. Buff extension. We're about to get smacked, but that's okay. It's a good time for it to happen. Okay. All right, transform. We're still going to do our little... Actually, we're going to cleanse our max HP first, and then we're going to go with the counterattack. Just because people are looking a little bit low. I don't like it. Not supposed to be a shot at Hell Hades. I love the guy. Just funny that I'm literally just on Hell Hades website, I guess, and like Google Drive. And it's like, yeah, that's suspicious. Weird. Gosh, Michinaki is popping off. I'd like to point out that Supreme Gaelic's also in a Relentless set, and it feels like the only time he's getting his Relentless is when he hits this guy and he gets the Laugh at Danger ability. Which I don't know why I just did that. We don't have Shamail. Go ahead. Pop him out. It's risky to do that. It's risky. Suffering. He's back. Cleanse all of our fears off. Look at that. Shamail. Freaking love Inquisitor Shamail. All right. We're back in the races. 133 million. You're going to be the next one. You're going to be the next one to fall, obviously, but then I want to kill you. He does have counterattacks. I wouldn't mind him hitting us. Should get a double counterattack here. Should get one head then the other from Gallius. We should get Blight and then Wrath. Once Shamail is done with his ridiculousness. 310. Does he counterattack Wrath? Or does he only counterattack once? Yeah, I didn't do it. He'll counterattack here, though. Might weak hit. Yep. Spoke that into existence. All right. Let's go Provoke just to give us increased speed in case Sify doesn't have hers back up. He does have hers back up. Oh well. Should be good enough to get the provoke back in a bit. Decrease speed there is nice. That is nicer. That is super nice. Only issue with all these relentless champions and like merciless set champions that get their extra turns is you just outrun your buffs so fast. All right, we got to kill homeboy. We did, yeah. I think we got hit first, though. Looks like these guys' health dropped a lot. Ooh. I wish I had an option to, like, fast forward all of Shamail's animations, because they're so long, especially against the Head of Blight. Like, my gameplay actually changes when I'm fighting the Head of Blight. I'm like, gotta get rid of that guy, otherwise I'm gonna be here for 45 minutes watching Shamail counterattack over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Nobody wants that. All right. Mischief. Don't mind if you do. Just gotta get our block buffs back. Chris looked like a pretty juicy Mischief target, which is good. That's who we want. And he's not going to take extra turns like our other champions will, but we got our block buffs out anyways. Probably should be going for the decapitated head, but like I said, trying to get rid of Blight. There we go. Gallius. Finally doing something. Also, the other Eus, Marius. That guy looks sweet. I was watching Saf's video and Saf's stream on him. He's got some shortcomings. I think he's tough to build. He's not going to be the world's best damage dealer, but he looks fun. I'm close to him. Well, close-ish. I'm on the final tier, final track. I'm on like tier 3 or tier 4, whatever the last one is, to try and get Marius. So I've got some tough missions in my way, but I got past a ton. Getting the stupid 4 mythical chest pieces was awful. We literally just used our provoke ability, and he's back. But Krisk is here to save the day. I'm going to start targeting you, actually. Well, I say that as my hex drops off. That's good timing, Sam. Got some burns out. Let's activate them. I'd love to hex you again. Increase buff duration. We're almost at 150. Got to get a provoke back, though. I think he's on a 1 turn. He's on a 2 turn. Krisk should be on a 2 turn as well. We need decreased speed out. Stat. Or we need to kill this guy to take his turn meter away, but I don't think we're stealing it in time. Unless we start getting lucky, some extra turns, things like that. We got our decreased speed out, but I don't think we're getting a provoke back in time. That helps. Come on. Ooh, no, 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 no. That could be big. Still relying, now we're relying on Gallius to do it. I don't even know if I want to use it here. I guess I do. For more damage, more turn meter. Oh, freaking heck. We literally don't have it. Like, there's just nothing we can do right now. He's going to get a full cleanse off, which sucks. Golly. Oh, don't be stealing buffs now. I think we'll get another turn. We can steal them back. Get an extra turn. That's what I'm talking about. Reset. Reset. A3. A3. Dang it. Too wishful. There we go. Laugh at danger. Laugh in this face. 150 million, just like that. Take my buffs back. Yeah. All right, we got to get Krisky Boy out. Provoke. Yes. Yes. It's huge. It's massive. It's huge. No! He stole our counterattack. That's the worst case scenario. Ah! Ouch. He's gonna steal the decreased increased attack too. Stop it. Yeah, block buffs. Freaking heck, dude. I hate that. You can steal my increased attack. I don't need it. I don't need that. We're about to take them back from you. What if I do this? You want my buffs now? You're not having them. That's mine. Guy's got like very little going for him, and you're gonna take away his one thing, dude? Come on, man. That's just mean. Getting bullied out here by the Head of Mischief. If I bully you back, dude, you like that? Yeah, you like that? Little Kirk Cousins, you like that? We're gonna kill him real quick. Yeah. Yeah, one more hit. One more hit. Yeah, get out of here, you suck. Boo, we hate you. Decrease speed, that's awesome. Yeah, Michinaki, pop off, bro. If we could just magically have Head of Torment out the entire round with Shimeo, we would just get insane damage numbers. But then the second you take Torment out of your team, you almost want the opposite. You want like every head, but it's such a weird conundrum to be in because none of the Veilers, maybe except Feral, are good enough. Like Duchess brings next to nothing in Hydra. Her revive is not good. Her Veil is not on a short enough cooldown to like really rely on her. So you kind of need like Krisk and Duchess to try and survive, which is what I used to do. But Shimeo just brings so much when he does pop up. And the longer you're in a Hydra run, the more likely he is to pop up eventually. Got a weak hit on the provoke, which is fine. Can't get too mad about that. Still should have Krisk back. And we're getting him close, like about 2/3 of health. Dang, Ben, you said he boosted your damage by 80 million. How'd you gear him? I don't think he's boosted my damage at all. Like, this is a good run. This is run attempt number like 4 or 5, and by far the best one. This is the only one we took past like 5 minutes. But to me, he didn't do a ton. He's not doing a ton at all. Like, his counterattack's cool. But I don't feel like he's doing a ton. 217 there, watch. He almost did. He didn't do that much, to be honest. That would be a lie. Let's see who does on the A1. 190. I mean, he's not even built for damage. Like, his stats are way higher than Supreme Galix, especially for damage. Oh, dude, Valkynin I think is awesome. I did like a takeover for one of my friends, and I was trying to use Valkynin, and I was like, I can tell he's awesome, but I just don't think that guy had the gear, which stinks. I was like, I just don't think you got the gear to really take advantage of that. Who got swallowed? The guy I was just talking up, Supreme Galix. Don't have a provoke. Nice, get some increased speed, straight damage. I love that, man. That's fun. I like champions like that too because it really means like the better build you can put Valkynin in, the better it's gonna do. Versus like Husk, like I'm up empowering my Husk and I got like a better soul in Husk, and it's like it's not like it doesn't do anything. That sucks. It's just like marginal benefits, like he's not improving as much as like a Valkynin would. You get like a empowerment of Valkynin, or you get like a soul on Valkynin. That's like massive. This is going to get gross in a second because we got Poison Cloud out for 2 turns. This guy's going to pop off on us. So what I want to do, you don't have anything, so maybe I'll just go for this head. Try and do some damage via Hex. There's our cleanse. We don't have a Hex set or a Provoke set or the Blessing that ignores Poison Cloud, so we're kind of just chilling for a little bit, hoping that Wrath doesn't wreck us. Just going to A1 over here. Yeah, Ben, I was thinking I would probably do the same. I think his A3 is cool. I think the coolest synergy I thought of when I was playtesting him would be with Wukong. If you use Wukong for your block buffs. Because if you did Wukong, you could kill him with Valkynin to unlock his secret ability. And then, that's the wrong head, I didn't mean to click on that. Then you could bring him back, because he's going to like bring himself back in like 3 turns, which is nothing in Hydra. All right, we're not going to provoke. Really want buff strip. That would be best case. Weak hit there. Well, extra turn. Come on, Mitchie. Let me down. Now we really need a buff strip. I do not love reflect damage. Especially like if that guy counterattacks here, or this guy attacks here and he counterattacks, he's going to kill himself on like reflect damage. There we go. No, he's not. No, he's not. Michinaki's here to save the day. Michinaki was here to save the day. I don't love hitting into Wrath. That's another annoying one. That's interesting with Gaius. I wouldn't have thought of that. I think that's a cool usage, though. I mean, I feel like in Arena you almost need the Malice Unleashed ability. I don't know if in Hydra you do. I feel like the Hex is really his biggest thing. And the debuff spread, too. Don't need to provoke yet. We do need to heal him, and we need to get his max HP back. Is that enough to free him? That's big. He's about to smack us back, though. Kriska's down. The thing is, with Siphi, like, we don't really care if someone goes down. We just need it to be no more than one. Let's get a provoke here so we don't need Krisk yet. That's huge. And Siphi's buffs are on a one turn. Like, that's perfect. If one person goes down, Siphi can bring him back up. No concern. But if, like, you were to get knocked back down, then we're in trouble. Or if multiple people get knocked down, then you're in trouble. Don't need a provoke. Don't need that either. Cool. Yeah, glad I'm on the same page with you. Hoping we're going to get 2x Voids. I don't have a ton saved up, but I'm almost thinking like that's where my energy should go, is to Void Shards and not Primal Shards. Like, Primals, you hit the lottery and you feel real good, but Voids, I feel like it's easier to hit said lottery. You know, I feel like there's more good Void Legendary champions. I mean, there's definitely more good Void Legendary champions. I just don't know what the odds are. If I pull a Mythical, what are the odds he's amazing, versus if I pull a Void Legendary, what are the odds he's amazing? Because there's some bad ones too. You know, there's some duds out there. If you haven't watched my most recent video, talk about that. Oh, also, let me use this opportunity to tell you guys about the polls that I'm running. So I'm basically going to be running continuous polls every day for the foreseeable future, really. Kind of just getting you guys' opinion and take on things. So right now, I did a video because I thought it was a really interesting topic, which are like, what are the worst Void Legendaries in the game? And so the video I did was I went faction by faction and said, I think this is the worst Void Legendary in this faction. Pretty fun. View-wise, it's not performing very well. So maybe you guys did enjoy it. But then I've run some polls. Don't be Decay. Okay, good. I've run some polls. I did Bannerlords and High Elves. What are the worst Legendaries in each faction? And they've both gotten over 100 votes, which is more views than my video's gotten. So maybe you guys do care, you just didn't like the video itself, or you want to have your opinions be heard, you just don't want to hear my opinion, which if that's the case, totally fair. I don't blame you. I don't know why you think I know anything more than anyone else does. But yeah, the plan is to continue doing that. So current polls are going to be worst Void Legendary in every faction. We'll do it for all 14 factions. That's not good. Unless we instantly get Hex up, that's not good. Don't love that. My dog's going crazy. Don't love the provokes either. Ooh, counterattack him again. Yeah, Gallius, dang it. If you didn't weak hit there, that could have been cool. You were almost cool, Gallius. You had your chance and you blew it. All right, decrease speed's big. That's big. Gosh, so clutch, Supreme Gaelic. You freed Michinaki by yourself with basically no one's help. All right, we hit 200 turns. Boss turns, that is. 178 million. I think, honestly, don't jinx myself, Sam. Knock on wood. I think we're going to hit 200 million. I think this is better than I thought. I probably will cut it. I don't know if I'll cut it then. I might take a quick pause. My dogs are whining. Well, my dog, and we're dog sitting, so the other dog. They're very agitated. They're very bored of me just sitting in the room, which is what I did past few hours. So I got to go take them out in a bit. I love the 3 decapitated heads, man. It makes me feel so much less stressed. We hit 1,000 turns. Which, if you would have asked me going into this, could we hit 1,000 turns with Gallius, I would have said no. But I was wrong. Let's go. My favorite head. Absolutely my favorite head. That's huge. Let's just A1. We're still going to keep pumping in here, try and decrease turn meter. If we could decapitate him before these guys come back, that'd be massive. I doubt it happens, though. I'm sure at least one of them will come back. See what we can do, though. See what we can do. Stole my counterattack. Don't like that. Oh, yeah. I 100% agree. Maybe I'll do some more ranking videos. I feel like Michinaki may be the #1 non-void. Legendary for Hydra. He's so insanely good because it's like, you could get so much value out of Michinaki if you didn't build him for damage, which is like, that's where most people use him for. Like, if you just did the highest speed you can and the highest accuracy you could, you'd be like, this guy's phenomenal, When you start building him in both, you're like, holy cow, this guy's special, which he is. I think he's pretty bonkers. I remember like when I first got him, I don't know if people were talking about how good he was and I didn't know yet, or people weren't talking about it yet. I don't know. I got him pretty early. And I remember thinking like, man, this will be fun. Because back then, like my whole channel was basically like testing clan boss damage dealers, which I still love doing. And I remember pulling him and be like, dude, he's going to be awesome against a clan boss. And I don't even know if I ever recorded that video. But what I'm saying is, all the rambling aside, I did not know how impactful he would be. I would say like Hydra Specialist, he's my number one Hydra champion on the account. Number 2, sitting next to him, is Supreme Gaelic, who I don't use much elsewhere, but golly, just fills so many roles. Decrease speed, block buffs, HP burn activation. We got to kill him quick because we're not going to get the provoke off. Yeah, one more. Mitchie, go in. Let's go. So, Ben, where are you using Gallius? Because, well, I don't disagree that he's fun. Maybe I'm just a party pooper. I don't know. I'm not having a ton of fun with him is what I was going to say. I just don't feel like I'm getting any value with him anywhere. Like I did 12-3 brutal or 12-6 brutal with him, but I couldn't get him to do nightmare nightmare campaign. This is the best luck I've had with him in Hydra. Haven't tested him in Clan Boss, but I know that he was broken and they fixed him, so I doubt he's going to be as crazy. I did think... so what's interesting is he was broken because he'd put counterattack on, and remember he puts counterattack on himself, and he counterattacks with the enemy max HP, and this capped on Clan Boss, and they didn't add the cap in the test server, so he was doing hundreds of millions of damage, and it eventually did billions of damage. And so that was broken. But what I was thinking is, right now I'm running the Wixwell team with like a Infinity Shield team with Wixwell. And we have like full buff duration with that. Like everything we place gets extended. So I could go in with him, place counterattack. On the next turn, I would switch forms. So I'm still going to have counterattack. We'll start extending then. And then he'll use him to place decreased defense because he's good for that. And then his A1 on the second form hits everybody. Do I need to provoke? I was going to show you, but I do need the provoke. We didn't get it, which means we're going to get cleansed in a second. It hits your target and then hits everybody else who's under decreased defense. So in this case, we would hit the clan boss once, I already have decreased defense, hit the clan boss once, and then hit him again. And that's like the godlike ability. It's not enemy max HP, but against the clan boss, I think it will be harder than if it was. So I wonder if that could do pretty well. I don't think we're going to get our Chris provoke back. Yeah, I do agree. I think that Iron Twins might be his like saving grace. Like Gallus, his like number one area in the game. Yeah, Centrano is definitely on like I was doing some easy last month and I finished the easy one, and he's like any wave they allowed him, he could just one shot by himself, which was cool. But I just don't think for any in-game content he's amazing. Iron Twins is in-game, but it's less demanding now after the nerf. Where he's going to cleanse. Oh, if he cleanses this head, that's great. I will let you cleanse all day. I'm not even going to try and provoke you. Go ahead, do your thing. Don't cleanse him, though. No, he killed himself. Wait. Oh, he also placed block revive on himself. We're not going to try and provoke. Will you please just heal this guy? Thank you. Love that. That makes me happy. The clan boss helping me out for once instead of screwing me over. All right, we need a buff strip, and then we need to place buff strip. Nice. And now we need to place block buffs. Gonna knock that shield off in a second. We're not gonna provoke because you don't need it for 3 more turns. Doing good on the damage. We're almost at that 200 million. Who's getting eaten next? Mishinaki, that's fine. Just keep hitting in here, that's fine. getting a little bit low. There's our block bust we needed. I don't really care about ally protect. You can take that. No issues there. Keep A1ing. We're going to get rid of the shield, but it's just extra turn meter. That's all you're doing. You did a turn that did nothing for you, and it's helping me. Give me all this extra turn meter and hex damage. Sure. Ally protect. The dogs are getting very agitated. They're at my feet. One of them's over there whining. You can hear his little collar jingling around. 2 turns. Still going to go for the provoke. Just because we want counterattack like that. Because watch this. We're going to get a little bang bang. Weak hit again. Man. I almost feel like I need Affinity Breaker. But boy, I don't want to run Affinity Breaker. Nobody wants that. See, I do agree with almost everything you said, Ben, except I just think he hits less hard than I thought he would. Like, Stultus hits harder than he does, which is like, okay, Stultus is a great defense-based nuker. Drexar Blood Twin hits harder than he does. What is AoE? And it's like, that's not acceptable, right? Like, this is you've got a damage form. I understand, like, honestly, this would suck, but I'd be okay with it. If they nerfed his damage on this form, the support form, but boosted his damage to really good numbers on the other form, I'd be down. I'd be like, yep, that's a worthy sacrifice. That works for me. But if you have a damage form, if he has 2 different types of support forms, that's fine. Or not even him, any mythical. If you have 2 different types of support forms, that's fine. But what you can't have is a damage form that doesn't do good damage, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just beating a dead horse. Like, Plarium's not listening to me. Obviously, I'm way too small for Plarium to care what I think. But that feels like a design error, right? And I know they're trying to dilute the pool a little bit. So, like, the whales and krakens don't all have +4 Siegfrieds and Toshiros and the really, really good and Galathirs. The really, really good mythicals, you don't want them to all be +4, and you don't want everyone who's pulled a mythical to have an insane mythical. But if I feel this way, how do you think a guy feels who pulls the worst mythical, like Frolny or somebody, after spending their first money on raid, or after saving up 20 shards and being so excited to hit mythical, and you pull someone who's just trash? Like, I guess you can argue that about any type of shard. When you pull your first legendary and you pull a dud, you could argue the same thing, but it just feels amplified with mythicals, right? Because you want them to be the best. Most of them are the best, and then you pull someone that's not the best, and it's not even that good. All right, we had 200 million. If you guys will wait a bit, I'll go let the dogs out, and then I will be right back. Hopefully it shouldn't be too long. Come on, doggos. All right, I just left the back door open so that they can get outside. I have a fenced-in backyard, which is super nice. All right, got a Head of Mischief. Got a Provoke out. He took our Supreme Gaelic, it looks like. Yeah. Counterattack, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure his damage will be good at the end of this. But I don't know. What's a fair comparison? It's like Michinaki we know is going to do way more, but I feel like that's the fairest comparison because you're talking non-void legendary versus non-void mythical. But then if I compare him to Supreme Gaelic, it's like, well, that's a void legendary, so how can you compare the two? I feel like it's a lose-lose. He's going to do more than Krisk, but Krisk is full support and brings way more support than Gallius brings. I don't know. If we're lucky, I agree the Mercy is too high. We're lucky with that. That's some good luck right there, getting Torment back. I'll say if we're lucky, you might hit the turn count limit. I've only done that a handful of times, definitely less than 10, so maybe there's something to Gallius, or maybe this is just a really lucky run. I love not having Head of Decay out. I know I've said that once this stream, but it makes me happy. Sometimes the bad mechanics in Hydra can go your way. And we saw it a bit earlier when we saw stupid frickin' Head of Decay, who we hate, cleansed Head of Torment, who we love, or Head of Mischief, yeah, Torment, who we love. That was really, really helpful. And then just similar to that, we just saw Head of Blight, who's got the annoying Poison Cloud buff, place it on the one head who we want to take less damage. Like, he just took 53,000 instead of taking away more, and we don't want him to take way more. So that's good. That's actually really good. Siphi's cleansing all these fears off left and right. I jinxed it, but besides that, she was doing it. Another underrated part of her passive. I've gotten that comment a few times, like, why do you use Siphi here? There's better champions. And there definitely are. But she just makes it feels less risky with her. I'm sure if it was like, I'm in a competition for, you know, whether it's monetary prize or bragging rights, then I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to take Siphi out and really speed tune this. I almost thought about it when I started running Eastrid, because she brings increased speed and a little bit of turn meter fill and some healing. But she doesn't bring as much turn meter fill or as much healing. She doesn't bring the removal of fears. She doesn't bring block debuffs. She doesn't bring revive. And it's like, okay, what if I kind of sub out like Krisk and Siphi for Molly and Eastrid? But that still kind of feels like a downgrade, to be honest. Back when Siphi was on a 3-turn cooldown, before I had her, she would have been unbelievable for Hydra. Right now, the 4-turn stinks. Without Krisk, she's not as good. Because Krisk gives her the extension, which is super nice. Ben, I mean, that's a hot take, dude. I mean, I completely agree with you, but that's just not even close to how it is. Like, Void legendaries, most of them are better than half of the mythicals, if you ask me. Obviously, there are some duds, which are like the ones we talked about, but the good Void legendaries, Narses, Terrace, Marichka, Supreme Gaelic, Krisk, Grazur, Acrizia, those guys are better than most mythicals. I mean, there's a ton that are good, but I agree. And like I'm saying earlier, if it was like that, you know, they're better than Void legendaries, that'd be awesome, because I wouldn't be mad right now. I'd be very happy, but that's nowhere close to the truth. And if they were almost even on par, like on average, the average Void legendary is similar to the average mythical champion, I'd be like, okay, that stinks. That's a pill I can swallow. But it's almost like there's so many non-Void legendaries that are better than these mythicals. I don't know. Maybe I'm probably a little too low on the average mythical because my mythical doesn't feel great. I'm just being a little crybaby about it. Yeah, once this is over, we're going to take a look at the damage. And then I'm going to go look at, can I find 30 non-Void legendaries that are better than Gallius? Which I think we can. This is a pretty good run, though. Anything over 200 is solid. Turn count, devour count is getting low, though. And this is when things start to get interesting. Not interesting in a good way. Interesting in a bad way. Gosh, he's had so many weak hits. I know they're not doing mythical Void mythicals yet, but I almost wish like some of them just couldn't weak hit, you know? Because it's such a bummer when my enemy max HP guy keeps weak hitting. Like, at least the other champions I use, they do it on an AoE, so they're weak hitting only on 1 or 2 heads. We just got a guy back, and we're already losing another guy. Yeah. I'd be pumped for 250 million. I don't think we're getting 250 million, but I'd be pumped for it. Let's extend some buffs. So damage-wise, I think Gallus is going to fall between Krisk and Shamail. I think Shamail will outdamage Gallius. Could be wrong. My biggest thing is like Gallius is really only doing damage on the A1 when he's counterattacking. Like he's not doing too much outside of that. Versus Shamail, his A2 is godlike, and his A1 is solid. Not right there, it's not, but in general it is. I think we may have not even crit there. There goes Gallius. I think he's about to counterattack again, which I'd kind of like him to do while we've got buffs up. So yeah, number 1 will obviously be Michinaki. I think number 2 will be Supreme Gaelic. I think number 3 will be Shamail, and then 4 will be Gallius. But I could see that being backwards. I'm not stubborn. I could see that being wrong. We are going to start going for the alive heads, because when they take turns, that increases or decreases our devour counter, so we want to get them dead as much as possible to stop them from taking turns. Pop off, Michinaki. Is that 4 turns in a row, dude? Let's go. If we kill all these heads, nobody can devour Krisk. Come on, y'all. Kill this guy. Yeah, kill him. Kill Michinaki. Start ally attacking. He's got Hex on. Do you not see the Hex on him? You suck. Not you, Michinaki. Everyone else. I love you. You guys didn't hear that, right? I don't know if I should have buffed there. It's fine. Let's go. Kill him. Show me Torment. Torment. Let's go. Don't be Decay. Hate you. Oh my gosh, Ben. Let me play on your account, dude. Just the one time. 2 Acrisias. Why are you messing around with Gallius? He shouldn't touch your teams, dude. He shouldn't smell them. That's ridiculous. Acrisia. Man. I try not to spend money on this game, but I suck at it. If they were like Sam, $250, give you a Acrisia, I'd probably be like, you suck, Raid, but here's $250. Which I feel like isn't that crazy, but I think, to be honest, as bad as it is, I'd probably do it for $500. Don't tell my wife that, but I'd probably give him $500 if you just popped an Acrisia on my account. No stress. They're just there. I think I'd do that. I wouldn't stand by that decision and be like, yeah, that was smart. That was a good call. But I'd do it. For sure. Not having Shamail here is nasty because you got block debuffs up, buff spreads. Michinaki doesn't want his extra turns anymore. Can't get rid of this one. There goes Siffy. There goes a cleanse. Gross. That's okay. That helps. Okay, we got you back. You're still block buffs, so we're just going to keep going in here. Should be able to get Siffy back. Gosh, we might not be able to get him back, though. Yeah, we're definitely not reaching that 250 million. We're struggling, guys. Oh, back to back. That would be not only my best shard pull video ever if that happened. Like, do you mean back-to-back shards or just back-to-back, like, champions? Like, you pulled a legendary and then 21 later you pulled another legendary. Because if it's back-to-back shards, that might be the best moment in Raid history. Like, that's insane. That would be my happiest moment, maybe of existence, definitely of playing Raid. I just can't imagine, like, that feeling of, man, I pulled my most wanted void. I'd be screaming and crying. And then you pull another one in the next shard, dude, I'd pee myself. I would be like, this is literally the best moment of my life. God, you can take me now. It's never going to get better than this, you know what I'm saying? We're definitely falling over here. Double stuff there. I like that it's this guy who keeps taking us. But then when they take Shamail, it's over. Don't do it. You just swallowed somebody, didn't you? Huh? Yeah. You just swallowed Supreme Gaelic and you're just back swallowing more people, dude. Come on now. Whatever. I don't really care. This is over. Guess I should have at least put my buffs out so you could have counterattacked. All right, there we go. 236.45. All right. Remember my guesses? I haven't looked yet. I can't look over there either. I'll look up. Michinaki I said would be 1. Supreme Gaelic I said would be 2. I said it would either be Shamail, was my first guess, or Gallius. I think those are the 3, 4. And then Krisk, Siffy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I flipped those two, but they were in the right spots. Krisk 14, Siffy 1.5. So pretty spot on. Ben, that's awesome, man. I'm happy for you. Jealous as all get out, but I'm happy for you. So 36 million, like it's not bad, but I don't think you could look at me and say Husk wouldn't do that level of damage. Husk also brings a provoke. Husk also brings any max HP. Husk is also an epic and not a mythical. I'm free regrouping. I know I could do better than that. This team does better than that. My +2 Husk does more damage than Gallius. And it's too late at night for me to sit here and try and do it. But I am a man of my word. We are going to see if we can find 30 non-void legendaries that I would consider better than Gallius. Let's go. Stultus, easily better than Gallius. He's defense-based. He hits harder. He's got good control. He can self-buff. And he can solo the Dragon Hard boss. For sure better. Rathalos, I also think is better. His damage ceiling is insane. Plus, he was free. I'm not going to say Septimus. I am going to say Baron. Because, again, Baron is a specialist. Gallius doesn't really boost you anywhere else. Or boost your count anywhere else. Baron boosts you in the arena. That's 3. Taras, that should count as 2, but 4. Marichka, one of the best supports in the game. That's 5. Quintus, Verdict's still out. We're going to leave him. But that's 5 in one faction, guys. Oh, we said non-voids. Never mind. Dial it back, Sam. That's only 2. Rathalos, Stultus. Ignore the dogs barking. Wallmaster Thorion, for sure. That's 3. I almost think Islin. I almost think Fina. We're going to pass on him for now. Lysandra is close. Very different. But I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say if you're an account that doesn't have either of those, Lysandra is more likely to fill a role, whether that's Arena or Fire Knight or Dark Fae or Faction Wars. Like I feel like she's more likely to fill a role that you don't have on your account. I use Lysandra in Dark Fae, Faction Wars. I used to use her in Arena. I used to use her in... I still use her in Scarab King. So I'm going to say that. We got 4. Sacred Order. Wixwell, for sure. Not even close. I'm going to say Cupidus, because again, I think he's really good, really strong. 6. I'm going to say Falmond as well. I mean, he's more niche, or he's niche, but again, he brings more. He's more exciting, and his ceiling is higher. So that's what, 6, correct? All right, Ogren. It's not a great faction. Vizug, the new guy, for sure. That's like a speed running dungeon thing. Koragar is close. He's niche, but he can do good in the arena. He's insane in clan boss. Really good ally protector. I'm going to say no for now. Blizzar for sure. I just pulled my first Blizzar. I think for sure. So that's 7. Lizardman. Draco? What do we think? Corvus is close, Ben. I'm going to say no on Draco for now. I'm going to say no on Roxham. Yes on Fushan. Speed aura is huge. Damage is insane. The chance to repeat your A1 makes him super unique, super strong. He helps unlock the Myth Fu, which is amazing. Now, Skull-Lord Vargal is close. Yeah, Biggin is close too. I mean, I'm trying to go with ones that I think are like he's here, they're here. And I think some of those guys are close or could be argued. So I want to see how many are like for sure better. Vargal is close. I think he's definitely better, but I don't know if he's like that far ahead. So we're going to say no. Necmo for sure. So we're at 9. 9 non-void legendaries so far. Skinwalker, Razzlevarg for sure. That puts us at 10. I'm going to say Uko for sure because he's Arena and Hydra. Big boost there. Nishak for sure. Clan boss damage. Hydra damage. Bommel damage. Arena damage for sure. Gwendolyn's close. Snicktrack is close. I'm going to say no for them. Ragash, yes. Ragash hits harder than you, Gallius. He brings decreased defense and he brings stun. Step it up. That's 13. Sun Wukong all day, every day. That's 14 champions better. We're only 7 factions in. Orcs. Kreela? Close. Artak? Yes. Artak can do campaign. Artak can do Hydra. Artak can solo bosses. He's one of the best Ice Golem hard champions. That's 15. For sure. Gomlock, maybe. I'm going to say no. but he is one of the only like decreased defense and weakened non-void. So I'm going to say no. Iron Brago, probably not, but I think it's closer than you think. Varl for sure. That's 16. We are running out of factions. We might not get 30. Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. I'm so glad I saw your comment. Necmo for sure. That's 17. Adam, it's not a rant, okay? I'm speaking facts here. This is where we're going to get ugly. We got 17 non-void legendaries better than Gallius. Kymar, 18. Hefrak, 19. Kendrifon, 20. Sissia, 21. Mortu, that's close. Lochazar is also close. Duchess, 22. Helicath, 23. We got 23 non-void Legos better than Gallius. Rhodos, 24. Batto, maybe? I'm going to say 25. Batto can solo. Batto's good in clan boss. He's good at enabling your damage. He's a cleanser. He's a healer. He's support and damage. I just think he helps you in more areas than Gallius does. Ultimate Death Knight, again, 26. I'm confident. Arena, insane. He can actually solo some stuff. 26. Mashald is close. I don't know. I'm going to say no Mashal, but I'm going to give the nod to Nethril. I think they're both close, so I'm going to give one of them yes, one of them no. Nethril is insane control. AoE stuns, decreased speed, AoE decreased turn meter, and poisons against bosses. I'm going to say yes, that's 27. I'm going to say no to those two. Going to try and keep as honest as I can. Ray? Is Ray better? I think so. Decreased defense, stripping buffs, freezing, AoE damage, AoE damage, AoE damage. That puts me at 28. Zavia, maybe. She's more of a specialist, but again, she can boost you in areas that Gallius can't, but I'll say no. Eva, probably after the buff, but I'll say no. Ghostborn for sure. We're at 29 champions, guys. Ruel is close, but again, I'm being generous. I'll say no, giving Gallius the benefit of a doubt. Gaius, potentially. Shimnath, Eric's, all three of those potentially, but we'll say no. Witch Queen and Korra, 100%. That's 30 champions, non-void legendaries that are better than Gallius. I forgot his name. Theodore, so much better, 31. Cavalex, 32. Elatrion, maybe. Drang, also maybe. We'll say one of those, 33. And we got three more factions. Trunda, obviously, 34. Brogni, 35. Herndig, 36. Goffred, maybe. We'll say no. Molly, yes, 37. Newt, so much better, 38. Genturo, specialist, but yeah, 39. Kimi, yeah, 40. Ninja, 41. Michinaki, 42. Harima, 43. Ginzen, maybe. Kyoku, maybe. We'll say one of those, 44. And last faction, Sylvan Watchers. Elva, yeah, 45. Eastrid, yeah, 46. Glycad, I think so, 47. Furil, for sure, 48. Padraig, for sure, 49. We got 49. That was being generous, guys. You saw. I went through champion by champion. 49 is generous. There are 49 non-void legendaries that I think are definitively better than Gallius. That's why I'm disappointed. This Angry Rooster, despite how cool he looks in his second form, just doesn't do enough. And I know they've only buffed one mythical so far, but I really hope he's the next one because his kit on paper is cool, but his damage isn't high enough. So you either got to change his kit or you got to change his damage. I don't know. I like the Reflect. But the course we're on now is I'm going to use Gallius in Easy Centranos and Iron Twins. And that's it. He will add nothing else to my account. My second mythical will not be used. I will not put books into him. I will not buy his soul. If I pull it, I'll put it on him, but I will not buy his soul. And a mythical champion will help me in Centranos, where I can use any champion. I could use rares. And Iron Twins to potentially save off 20 or 30 seconds a run. That doesn't feel satisfying, right? Like, let's look at the other mythicals. I want to rank them. I'm getting hot now. Androck. He's weird because he got nerfed with the Enfeeble. Feels like more solid support than Gallius brings, but we'll say that one's a wash. Decreased defense. on all enemies on the A1. Decrease resistance, weaken, and enfeeble. So can't place that on bosses, but still decrease resistance and weaken, plus decrease defense on the A1. Full buff strip, deals pure damage, places block buffs. Indrock, 100%. For sure, better than Form 1 seems similar, but Form 2, so much better than anything Gallius is bringing. All right, we're 1 for 1 with Mythicals. He is ranked 2 out of... I was going to say he's ranked 2 out of 2, but he's now ranked 3 out of 3. I'm not going to look at Gallius here. That's insane. Siegfried, same thing. I mean, just insane damage. The stupid passive where if he's the last one alive. Yeah, look at this, guys. He's 4 out of 4 so far. I mean, these are... We started with one that was like kind of questionable, but not really, and then 3 bangers. He's the worst out of the 4 we've looked at. 5 we've looked at now. Gizmax, same thing. HP burn activation, insane damage. So good in Hydra, so good in the arena. We've looked at 6. He's the 6th. Lazarius, I'm not going to... I mean, you guys know. It's not like a crazy thing to say. Those guys are clearly better. Skinwalkers is where it gets interesting, because I think you have 2 of the worst here. Obviously, Gallius is 7 of 7 right now. Mezimel, decreased defense. Ignore some of this stuff, so that and block revive. So that's an arena ability. Self buffs gives an extra turn. Heals herself like lifesteal. Place survival and death for 2 turns every time they kill an enemy. It's not bad. Crit rate in all battles. AoE doesn't trigger counterattack. If they have True Fear, places again. AoE 2 times. Places a True Fear for 2 turns. Doesn't trigger counterattacks. Ignores and kill one block damage. She's an arena specialist. Increases her... I mean, just... I'm not going to say she's leagues better. Put in the comments what y'all think. The few of y'all that are here. We got 8 people now. You guys think Mezimel is better than Gallius or Gallius is better than Mezimel? See if I can run a poll. So let me do that. May not let me from here. Can I do it from my browser? I don't think it'll let me from here. Yeah, put it in here. I'm curious what you guys think. Who is better? Geralt for sure is better. We haven't got to the orcs yet, but Mike, yeah, 100% Geralt's better. But Adam, Ben, Mike, all you guys that are in here, who's better between Mezimel and Gallius? Gallius is more of like a master of none, jack of all trades, versus Mezimel is more of a I'm an arena champion and not much else. Yeah, I think I agree with that, Ben. I think she is better, but just a little bit. Definitely not leagues ahead. I would not be complaining if I'd pulled a Mezimel. I'd still be complaining, but I wouldn't be complaining as much, I don't think. I do think she is better. Let me know what the rest of you guys think. I'm curious. But we're going to keep moving on. Orcs, Geralt, I mean, golly, so good, dude. She is so good, especially in this second form, and just nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. So we've looked at 9 now, right? Because it's just, that's the first faction with 2, I think, yeah. So we've looked at 9. She's either 8 or 9th. Yeah, Adam, I'm glad you agree. Okay, so we looked at 9 champions, and she's ranked 9th, 10th, 9th. Demon Spawn Carnage, this one's, again, closer, but it's all single target. But again, it's a specialty thing. And I think he's better at doing something that no one else can do than Gallius is. That was Demon Spawn. So he's 10 of 10. Calamitous, same type of thing. HWZ did a video on him. He's awesome. Always critical. Unkillable. Nukes. It's not like his kit's way better. His multipliers are just way better. That's it. Aphidus. Adam, what do you think? You got this guy, right? You think Gallius is better than Aphidus or Aphidus is better than Gallius? Let's see. A1, perfect veil on the target with the highest attack, or ally with the highest attack. AoE, increased attack, increases the duration of all enemy debuffs. AoE, enemy activates HP burn. If they're not under HP burn, places HP burn. That's pretty good. Passive, places HP burn, decreases the target's defense by 3%. For each HP burn enemy team, increases champion's crit damage by 10%. So you can get up to, really, that's 40% crit damage because you're not going to have more than 4 HP burns up. Increases his champion's attack by 5%, up to 50%. That feels pretty good. Just keep him in this form. He said he's great in second form for waves. A little Scarab King wave form. Increased accuracy on the ally with the lowest accuracy. AoE stun, yeah. Continuous heals. Only if no stuns are placed, okay. So Hydra would be continuous heals. Provoke on enemies for 1 turn, 3 turn cooldown, strengthen on themselves, and increase defense on all allies. Interesting. Places weaken on enemies and stuns. Yeah, that's a great wave ability, and I feel like this is his Hydra form. Ben, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I also think... I don't know. I don't know his multipliers. Maybe I can test him on Adam's account. I don't think he's worse. Just because, like, this is wave control, and maybe you don't need that. Maybe you've got a Armands and you don't need it, but that's provoke and stuns is wave lockdown, right? For any dungeon. And this form, like, he boosts his own stats. He's placing increased attack. He's placing and activating burns. Attack in all battles. So he's going to, hypothetically, we can decrease in a long battle, decrease, let's just say by 15%. Decrease each of the 4 Hydra heads by 15% defense. And then we'll have 4 HP burns out. So we can do 40% crit damage. And then by the time we do it, by this point, we'll be 50% extra attack. I feel like he's going to hit pretty hard. Maybe not. Adam's saying he's not going to hit super hard. HP burn all the spiders for sure would be good. But spiders just so easy at this point. Once you're pulling mythicals, you should have spiders unlocked. So I'll give that. We're gonna put him in. How many have we looked at? So that was Dark Elf. So 3, 7, 11, 12, because there was 2 in here. So we've looked at 12 champions. We're gonna put him at 11. So either Aphidus or Mezimel is below him. We're just gonna say of 12 mythicals we've looked at, he's the 11th best. I think that's fair. Night Rev, Crixia, the Underwater Queen here. Obviously, she's better. So now he is at 12th of 13. Dwarves, I think this is another one he's got a good case against. Frolny, whilst he looks cool, I don't think he's going to be better. Yeah, I agree. I mean, AJ knows what he's talking about. Attacks one enemy, ignores defense for how many buffs he has, steals buffs. Attack is critical, repeats the attack once. That's pretty cool. I like that. AoE damage increases if this champion's HP is harder than each target, so that's probably an arena ability because that's not going to be PvE. 1% crit damage for every 1,000 HP. So if he's HP based, I assume, let's put him with 80k HP. That's 80% crit damage. Increases the champion's max HP by 20%, stacks up to 100, and speed by 20 whenever this champion kills an enemy. The only issue with that is you can't do it in Hydra. I really wish they would change the coding to say that when a head's decapitated, that's a kill. Because then people like Gentoro, who gets an extra turn when he kills someone at A1, or Herndig would get, or Rotos, anytime that gets an extra turn when they kill somebody, or boosts their stats when they kill somebody. I think that would be awesome for Hydra. Trying to think where you'd use this. Like Spider, you could get some craziness, right? Because we could get 100% max HP, which would then give us, 80% more crit damage, and you get 100 more speed, which is from killing little spiderlings. That could be fun. But I agree, that's not amazing. I guess the super niche circumstance, which would be really funny, is you just build him super tanky with a support cast, and you just kill Wukong a ton of times. Because then you could boost his speed a ton, and his crit damage a lot too. You could kill the rest of them. That'd be funny, but pretty hard to pull off, I think. All right. Each hit increases the champion's defense. So, he's switching from HP to defense. I like that. He's survivable. Boosting your defense 100% is kind of insane, guys. Attacks one enemy, heals himself, balances HP of all allies, so he has support. Ally protect on all allies, can killable on himself. Shield on all allies with low health. That form sucks. Well, yeah, that's decent. But that just feels like clan boss. And it's like, unless you're pulling him in the first year of you playing or less, is Frony helping you? I think he sucks. I think he's for sure worse. So I forgot the count already. We did all 12 factions. Skinwalker is the only one with 2 that I've looked at so far. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, or 2, 1. 1, 1, 1. Yeah. So 12, 13, 14. He is 13th out of 14th. Yeah, No. 12th out of 14th. Because we said Frolny and either Mezimel or... Second form is good for Scarab. That's good to know. Either Frolny and or Mezimel is worse than him. So 12th out of 14th. Toshiro better. Lady Mikage better. God, I want Toshiro, dude. Oh, I want Toshiro so bad. All right, 12th out of 15th. Arbeis, these is interesting ones. I'm going to say after looking at Nace's kit, he's better. So 12th out of 16th. Arbeis, our last champion to review. AoE, block active skills. Full cleanse. No, full buff strip. And then buff extension. Then revive on death. Turn meter fill, increase attack, increase accuracy. That's pretty good support. You place the revive on death, and then you place in petrification, speed all battles by 25%. It's a pretty good support form. I'm kind of leaning towards RBEs. Everyone loves this form. I don't like it. I think she looks weird. She looks naked. I don't like it. It's very strange. Looks like somebody else is holding her. Like this isn't her anymore. This is strange. No, not Elva. Go back. All right. Decreases turn meter. Toshiro. Oh my gosh, he's so cool. Decreases turn meter, continuous heal. Okay, HP based. AoE, leech, and burn. I didn't know she had a burn. It's better for PvE. Continuous heals, taunts, and that's right, she places Stone Skin, so she's just gonna be like super annoying in the arena. You lock her out, she's like, well, I guess I won't do all this support stuff, but you're not doing crap because I got Stone Skin and taunt, so you're not doing anything. Decrease speed on the attackers. I feel like she's almost a meme UDK type champion, where it's like you suck. You're just not gonna do anything in the arena. But I think she's for sure better. So that's 17 mythicals, if I've counted correctly, which I probably haven't. 17 mythicals. I put I forgot 2 worse than him, so that puts him at 15th. I put the mythical that I pulled as the 15th best or 3rd worst mythical in the game. If not that, it's very close to that. I feel pretty strongly about it. I think he's a buff away from being awesome. But Mikage is so much better. I think one simple fix to make him like really, really strong, and I'm really going to work hard to get on my team, is make this hit twice. Then I could counterattack if he's crit capped and he's built well enough. I can get 20% enemy max HP instead of 10%. He'd be instantly in my Iron Twins team every day. He'd be instantly in my Sand Devil team. He'd probably be in some of my other bosses' teams as well. Probably not a Stone Clan boss, but I think I'd work to push him into Hydra. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a simple buff that would not break him, but would be enough for me to be like, yeah, Gallius is good. I want to use him more. Right? Because in like a counterattack for 20% enemy max HP is big. It is. It's big. Like think about how good Cupidus is with his counterattacks with Venus. Like this is almost bigger than that. It's single target, but 20% is a ton. I think multipliers on the A2, like the alternate form is so bad. It's so bad. Damage increases by 10% for each enemy under a decreased defense. It's just not true. Like it's just not, I don't know if it's not coded correctly. It's just not good. What affinity is he? He's red, right? Yeah, so we can go here. We're gonna do some tests real quick. Let's do stage, can we do 20? Yeah, stage 20. We're gonna compare him to some other damage yours. He's just not good, guys. We got the defense aura, that's nice. So damage increases by 10% for every enemy under decreased defense. So we're gonna place decreased defense. And we're gonna get it on 11 enemies, basically. Before attacking, places it. So he's going to have 11, let's call it 10, in case he gets resisted once. Damage increases by 10%. So this is going to be a ×2, like it's twice as hard as he should hit. 71,000? Let's run it one more time. I'll waste some energy. Is he not strong affinity here? Oh, I went to spear instead of magic. It's okay. But it was a crit, so we'll see if we can get another crit. 73,000. test him with some increased defense, maybe? Maybe that's the issue. Do you think that's what's wrong with him, guys? That's twice as hard as it's supposed to hit, by the way. That's 200% or 100% extra damage. $144 with increased defense. Let's test out some other defense-based nukers. Right? Let's bring in Siffy just to keep our increased defense. Obviously, first one I'm thinking of is Harima. See what Harima does. Just on an AoE. We did what was the number, guys? 150 something? 116k. 87. Okay. So with the 100% extra damage, he does more than Harima AoE. That's something. What about Stultus? Stultus isn't even built to nuke, really, because he's built to survive my Dragon Hard. Let's see what Stultus does. About to end the stream, guys. I'm just curious. I think this one, I don't remember which one hits slightly harder. Okay. So, granted, though, that's actually one thing I want to test real quick, is we didn't have decreased defense. So let's just bring in someone who just does decreased defense, maybe a Deacon. I don't know if my Deacon's fast enough. I don't want Weaken, because that'd be unfair. Let's do Baron. Because Baron will do just decreased defense on the boss. Because that was one thing, too, is Gallus is bringing his own decreased defense, which you could argue is a plus for him, but then you have to build him for accuracy. So then we're going to put decreased defense on this ability. Yeah. All right. So he did 11k. Now he's doing 25k, 50k. Let's try the Harima one with decreased defense. I think Baron's faster than Harima. 241. He's definitely faster than Harima. Don't have a defense aura here. Just resist. Yeah, Ben, reach out to me on Discord. I'd love to connect and test out your account, man. To have a lot of fun with two Acrisius. All right, so this is going to be with increased defense and just decreased defense. So to fair comparison for him, 124. The exact same. And this is like the best setup. Everyone has decreased defense. You're getting 100% extra damage instead of 40. I don't know. Hope it wasn't too much of a downer for you guys. Thank you for watching. We've had a good amount of viewers, so I appreciate you watching. I'll try and stream more often. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.